Alright, so today I have had the itch, the urge, since the Season 3 drop and all the excitement of the balance changes, to make a video basically talking about what I think would be the best way to nerf and potentially even buff every character for Season 3. I know buff, no one wants to hear buffs, but just very minuscule minor things. When you take away, you kind of have to give to maintain a bit of fun and variety in characters. Otherwise, when you're just taking shit away, it's not fun. No one liked getting their stuff taken away as a kid. Now, I don't have the craziest rank or anything like that, so take my opinions with a grain of salt. Although I feel like I'm not like a shitter or like a super casual. I only have 2 Tekken Kings and a bunch of Bushins. I'll put my ranks on the screen right now. But I have like 1,000 hours, and I consume this game quite heavily. I try my absolute best to learn as much as I can. I'm constantly asking questions in Discords and in streams, and I'm always looking up different guides and watching all these different players play the way that they play, so that I can try and figure out what is optimal and what I need to be punishing. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first off, before we go into any characters, I kind of want to get into like some system changes like involving heat. But if you do want to see just the character stuff, the timestamps will be down on the time bar. I think we all can agree that this needs to go away. Right, just getting rid of the ability to bound on a tailspin with heat, or even stuff like this. Right, just using heat to bound while tailspin or in the air. Just getting rid of heat bounding in general, just entirely, other than for these 2 scenarios, I think would be the best way to allow heat to still bound. Any of those options I think would be a good way to allow heat to still bound if you wanted to continue your combos. But that comes with a nerf to heat. Right, I think the best way, just to nerf heat, the easiest way to do it is just how it was in Tekken 7 with Rage and Rage Drive. You only get access to heat at like around below 70 health. So at the start of the round, you couldn't pop heat. Heat is unpoppable. Heat engagers don't work. Or if you heat smashed, you would not get access to a Rage Art, although I would prefer it so that Rage Art just is no longer armored. If you use a heat smash or a heat dash after popping heat, you no longer have access to an armored Rage Art. And that can even come with damage reduction because you already used a big ass heat smash, or use your heat dash to +5 or to extend your combo. And you've already popped heat for like immediate in your face plus frame armor, so you shouldn't get access to armored Rage Art as well. Right, we all know heat smashes need to be linear, they need to do less damage, less frames. But when you have like heat coming down to like a health thing, I think when heat actually becomes like a comeback mechanic, a true comeback mechanic, when you are critical, heat can remain a little bit more advantageous than it is now. It doesn't have to be nerfed into the ground because you are using it to come back. You want that big damage. You want those frames. Now, when it comes to Alisa, this is a character I'm not like super familiar with because I don't play Alisa, although I do like her and she's super cool. She's not a character that I'm like it's aligned with at all. But she's gonna be the first character we talk about with this certain move that quite a lot of characters have and the property that it has. A safe down forward to generic mid launcher. No character should have that. So anytime that a character has that, I might bring it up, or it might be a subtitle, but we all know the characters that have it: Lee, Paul, Alisa, some characters, etc. No safe DF2s. That shouldn't be. Although hers is -9, which is pretty shit for being safe. Giving up her turn, it should not be safe on block. I'm not saying it should be launch or even like -11, -10, at least a 10 frame every time should be what you take for trying to use the easiest launch probably in the game. Now, the only move from Alisa that I'm going to talk about that like is outside of her chainsaws that like I honestly generally dislike from what I understand is down 3, a -10 low that goes into BKP, I think that's what it's called. And she gets a -9 mid launcher, a +4 high, a -9 11 frame high, and a relatively fast unblockable from this stance. Right, it's +8 on hit, right? So it's pretty scary. I really dislike this move. It kind of drives me nuts. I don't really mind the attacks that come from it, even though they are relatively just too safe. It's the +8 on hit, like this goes under highs, right? And it's +8 on hit. And it's like what the fact that this move just straight up counter hit launches. 70 damage damn near for -10. So now we'll get into some of like the chainsaw stuff. Just in general, just like getting into chainsaws or neutral. kind of bugs me just a little bit, considering how strong her chainsaw shit is. And the fact that she gets into her chainsaws from a 10 frame is kind of ridiculous. Again, for how strong they are right now, getting into chainsaws from neutral and from a 10 frame is just a bit annoying to me. We can't talk about Alisa chainsaws without talking about Destructive Form 1. This move is ridiculous. Okay, only -9 and you can't duck it. You can't duck in between it. This completely jails. I think 1+2 is fine. So when you're in Destructive Form, you have the 1. You also have the 2, which is just a -8 fucking launching mid. So she has another, basically like a down 4-2. It is 20 frames, relatively slow. But when Alisa has like some of the best movement in the game, when she's using dual boost and shit like that, it is kind of annoying. Right, then we have forward 1, where she's just always peppering you with this fucking +3 on block, +9 on hit, high from chainsaws. Again, I don't mind the +3, but the +9 could come down. Right, and then we have one of the more annoying moves with her is destruction forward on +2. When Alisa is like constantly like getting into chainsaws with relative ease, you know, with heat engagers, power crushes from neutral 10 frames. And she's hitting you with like 1+2 with forward 1+2 +1 on block, forward 1, and then that shit is, it's whatever, right? It's annoying. But then she goes into down 2, which transitions into dual boot. But she has a -13 low, which -13 is fine for this move. If it was launched, I wouldn't complain. But the fact she goes into dual boot after dealing with like a bunch of oppressive chainsaw frames. Right, like you have dual boot 1, which is +11 on hit, and for some reason +9 on block. Right, you have one of the most annoying moves in dual boot 1+2. This move is fucking ridiculous. And even though this move is launch, Alisa having a hell sweep from this is just ridiculous when she has, like, it's so scary to duck her because she has tons of plus frame mids in forward 1+2, in dual boot 1 and neutron block dual boot 1+2, right? Like, you don't want to duck her, it's really scary. And then she has like general launchers, mid launchers with like dual boot floor, although that is like as unsafe as a hell sweep, I'm pretty sure. I just think that in order to nerf Alisa, the easiest way to do it, obviously, like, she has stuff in the neutral that I'm a little unfamiliar with, but we're gonna talk about her chainsaws for the most part. Off a 10 frame and from neutral, no. I think that there's like just a different nuance way to get into it. I think you can either choose to have it off a 10 frame or from neutral. You can't really have it come from both, right? You should have to get your chainsaws like mid combo or mid string, like characters like Azucena who have to cancel their strings to get into stance, or even like Lee, you know, they have to stop their strings in order to drop into stance, something like that for Alisa. I don't know if she necessarily has that, obviously let me know, but she needs to take less frames in general on these chainsaw moves and take more of a risk, because it feels like Alisa, from what I understand when I fight her in Tekken King, it's not like that. It feels like she takes almost no risks, on top of having like genuinely some of the best movement, which I don't think should be nerfed. She has fucking thrusters and she flies. She should have great movement. So let's destroy some of her frames, right? And on her chainsaws, right? Because if Alisa took a little less frames and used that movement, you know, she's not necessarily all super plus or, you know, super negative that she can't move. She could use her crazy movement and some of her more fun, like flying tech, to get around and make more setups than just mindlessly mashing into you with +1 to +9 chainsaws. Now, let's talk about a little Asuka, right? Debatably one of the top 5. I'm going to try and follow more of my script for this one, as like Alisa was something that I had to like kind of keep looking things over. So in general, things that I would like to see nerfed on Asuka. Right, back 3 is going to be one of the most annoying moves in this game to try and punish. At least coming from me, my perspective, and my Mishima mains, this has to be one of the most frustrating moves. It's just like, I'm going to press this button at -19 on block, and I'm going to launch you for you doing literally anything. Back 3 just needs to be punishable. I mean, like, she needs to take the risk for this move. And that goes for quite a lot of the things that Asuka has, taking actual risks. Now, let's talk about another move that's another evasive launcher that Asuka has that we all know very well. The Kankan. -8 on block with pushback. For some fucking reason. This move is ridiculous. This needs to be -11 and have 0 pushback. I don't mind. I love this move as a as a move to call out like hell sweeps. You see like a Mishima wave dashing at you. I like can for that reason, but it should not be safe. You should lose your turn for being an idiot. Another move, up forward 3, no longer -3, right? This needs to be -10 or -9. Completely loses her turn entirely or becomes punishable. 1+2, not -9, -10. Again, she takes almost 0 fucking risks to launch you. Genuinely, it is so frustrating. Now we'll talk about one of Asuka's more problematic moves that I see Fergus use quite a lot in tournament. Is full crouch down forward 3, the charge version of it. Dude, look at that chip, dude. He has 200 health. Dude, he just took 12. Dude, what is this chip? What is this chip? Why is it +8? Dude, it needs to lose. It needs to be like 2 chip damage and be like +3 to 4 on block. I don't know why it's fucking +8. Genuinely, I have no idea. Down 1+2 needs to have less fucking range. Like the fact that this hits, like that should not hit there. Into this, obviously we looked at the trailer, so it looks like these things won't be guaranteed anymore. There'll be some nuance to it where Asuka will kind of, I guess, either have to mix you or it's entirely not able to get a guaranteed follow-up. I don't know. The Devil Gen got up really slow. I think that it just means that she has to mix you now. Like an actual Oki situation, not guaranteed follow-up. It should not be hitting from this fucking range. And now, since Asuka is the first character with a install, I think it's safe that we talk about this right here. The fact that I get install in heat and I heat my install the entire time while I'm in it needs to go away. I think that's like a universal nerf that everyone would love to see. You should not get infinite install or get install while you enter it or while you leave it. If you did not do anything to get your install, you do not get it. If you didn't do a specific move to get into your install, you should not be getting it. And that goes into my second point about Asuka. Asuka gets her install for max like damage. Asuka, she doesn't have to go out of her way to obtain the install, doing something that either does like less damage or less travel. She gets to do her best stuff while also getting install. So you have to eat full damage, and then you have to wake up to install. And then say you get launched with install, you wake up to install again. It's not fun. She's too easy for her to get it, which I very much dislike. So with her install, she has while running 1+2, which is fucking +11 on block. Now I understand this is a high, but she has while running 3. You don't really like want to be ducking her because while running 3 is really strong, right? Which is +11 while running 1+2, which for some unknown reason is a natural launcher. I don't know why. This is a natural launch at +11 on block with while running 3. I don't understand. Right, and then we have the baby version of this, which it's funny to call it the baby version. Yeah, this is so annoying. When Asuka enters heat on like a heat engager, you get with bang, bang, like holy shit, is that annoying? That is so annoying, especially with infinite install. So that there needs to be toned down. While running 1+2 needs to either not be a homing move. It's a +11 homing high that just natural launches on hit with install, with infinite install while in heat on a character whose install is probably the easiest to get in the game. No longer needs to be +11. At least it cannot be homing and +11, right? I think like +7 or +6 would be like plenty for this move, for her not to be running you down like an actual fucking gorilla. And the last thing we'll talk about for Asuka here is her +10 heat smash, 50 damage, +10 heat smash. No. Again, if he gets changed like the way I kind of thought it should, maybe he can keep its thingies. But like in this current set of Tekken, if they really don't change heat like that, they just like nerf it in terms of comboing, not like its utility at the start of the game. Her heat smash cannot be +10. Again, +6, +5 is advantageous enough to threaten things like this. It's fine. Azucena as a character I recently just like kind of fell in love with. I think she's genuinely one of the coolest characters in this entire game, and not really that problematic. I know like for me and a lot of like people who were in like lower ranks, like Fujin as your highest rank, Azucena was a nightmare, but like once you actually kind of understand what the fuck's going on, it's really not that bad. Just one of the general first things I want to talk about, because I talked about this before, is this needs to be not safe. -10 or -9. Like Azucena's, she doesn't, like, her frames are fine, right? Like they nerfed the fuck out of this, right? It's not crazy. Azucena loses her turn or is kind of frame disadvantageous quite a lot. So I genuinely think that she's fine. Now, the last thing I'm talking about Azucena is nerfing her frames on her heat smash, just because it's a 50-50. Like, I think heat smashes that maintain 50-50s after they're over shouldn't have as many frames as like Asuka or Bryan heat smashes that just maintain frames, not a 50-50. So +6 into like a counter hit mid, right, at 14 frames, right? So maybe make it like +3 on blocks so there's no real frame trap there, or make it +4 so that it only trades. But +6 on block doesn't really bug me. It's just like a maybe kind of thing with Azucena. Okay, so now we'll talk about Miss Anna, which again, this is just like Asuka, where we can talk about this character's problems for genuine days. Just off like what I have right here, down back 4. The fact that this is a +6 low into stance is so insane. And mind you, it's +13 on counter hit. This low for Anna, from what I understand about her historically, this move it just completely goes against her character and her identity. It should only be +3 on hit and +5 on counter hit. Quick little side note, I think that it should be either slowed down and can maintain like -13, or at 17 frames it should be entirely launch punishable and it gets blown up. So then we have down forward 1-2 does not put her into hammer chance. Why she gets to go into a stance after a jailing mid high at 13 frames is ridiculous. I don't understand that. Right, and say you do mash in between it, now she's +14. If it why did she keep those frames? But if she does keep it, no counter hit properties like at all. It shouldn't have any counter hit property, and should not be +7, like +3, so that hammer chance 1 only trades. Right, or +4 at the most, so that this does beat out if you are mashing, because it is like a mid high, right? So it can be +4, but not +7, and shouldn't have any counter hit property at all. Anna had this move in Tekken 7, but she used her hands. Why this is +4 on block makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Essentially a full screen homing attack. This should be -5. This shouldn't be plus at all, in my opinion. I don't think, or neutral to -5. This should not be plus at all. Now, I know this might be kind of controversial because I know that this is like kind of Anna's thing, but I really hate this move. This shouldn't launch at 20 frames, especially in a character that goes into crouch quite easily. This should just give a free follow-up. That's it. I genuinely hate this move, and I know that some people might be saying that this is me being biased, but I don't care. This move is fucking ridiculous. So now we'll talk about some stance stuff from Anna. I think hammer chance 1 +6 on block. No. Absolutely goddamn not. Should just be like around +3. +3 is fine. Totally fine. I know it has tons of pushback, but and it's a high, but no, at 13 frames fast, that's crazy to have +6. This right here, hammer chance 2-1-2, I hate. Especially for the fact that it goes into full crouch. It's either it doesn't go into full crouch or it maintains like neutral to -1. Because now she goes into this dumbass mix. Now, if this doesn't launch anymore, totally fine. It can maintain how it is, right? But if it still launches, neutral to -1 on hammer chance 2-1-2, and that's it. One of her most problematic moves, hammer chance 4. What is this pushback? Especially, it's like, not to mention at the wall. What the fuck is this? Why does it have any pushback? No pushback, and it can say -12. So for pleasure time 1 being +4, why debuffs? It should be like -5, -4. I don't understand why this is +4 on block. And like this one, pleasure time 2 should be the +1. Like this should be +4 on block. I don't know why this one is the one that like doesn't debuff is negative. Right, and now we can talk about this piece of shit low from pleasure time in 4 being +28 on hit, what everyone knows, and is not launch. Only minus 13. That is just so unreal. And I think that kind of covers everything that I wanted to talk about Anna. I don't want this video to go on forever, but those are just like the main things that I very much dislike about Anna that I just think need to be changed or go away. So with Armor King, my main honest to God issue is the unbelievable safety of this character. Now, I love Armor King. It's one of my favorite characters in this game. Why the fuck is every counter hit that he throws safe on block, and one is +5? He needs to take more of a risk when just throwing mindless counter hits at you. So for example, 442 should be -8 to 9, just like a Demon Paw, just like a Demon Paw. Besides that, 4 -8 could be punishable. Up 1 should not be +4, should be +2 on block. A 12 frame counter hitting mid from crouch is only -9, genuinely kind of fucking annoying. Okay, down forward 3, only -5. That's really my only issue with like AK. Like, honest to God. The only other thing that I could really talk about is homing heat throws. Why? Why in the fuck does he have a 70 damage homing heat throw? I know my back was to the wall, but still, why? And they regen heat. It just makes no sense. Get rid of the heat regen, and please God, get rid of the homing trails on his throws. This should just not be homing. I don't get it. The last thing I like to see for AK is Dark Upper get a just frame. It's like gonna be +1 to 2 on block or neutral, but I would like to see it be like +1. And he gets like a flame or blue spark, just like he would get for while standing 2. Now we can talk about one of the goats of getting hated in Mr. Bryan Miary. So first of all, let's address the elephant in the room. Bryan will be, with heat getting changed for combos and for like installs, that will nerf, like system changes will nerf Bryan even if his kit does not get touched. Things tracking less, heat no longer bounding, which we assume I guess is going to be the thing that they do, and no more install and heat and this and that and blah blah blah. Bryan will be inherently nerfed, and a lot of characters will be nerfed from system changes to heat and tracking in Tekken 8. But even then, Bryan still has things that are ridiculous. So the first thing I have listed is 3+4. Please let me punish this, or have much less pushback that I can do a little something. This move is a bit annoying. It's just super easy to spam, super scrubby. I wouldn't even mind if it was -9 and kept me in his face, and which allowed me to kind of take a little bit more of my turn. Because Bryan, you know how many times I spam this? Someone tries to come in and I just blow them up with 3+4, or do one of these if they try to do anything a little too slow. So maybe 3+4 could have a little less pushback. Another move, forward 3. Why in the fuck with Bryan how he currently is he allowed to keep forward 3 neutral on block a 16 frame mid? It looks like a high. If it was a high, I wouldn't even fucking care. But it's a 16 frame neutral on block mid that he gets after crazy big frames that he's allowed to just fucking blow you up. It's just, this has to be like -3 to 5 because he just gets undeniable movement with this right here, and it's very annoying. One of Bryan's biggest offenders is we got QCB1 Cannonball Straight, 13 frame +5 counter hitting high that functions as an electric like Jin's. This should be in its current state. If it's going to remain, a counter hit launch should be neutral to +1 at the absolute most. I'd say -1 to +1, in between there. -1 neutral or +1 is what it can be, especially at 13 frames. Now, if this was like 15 or 16, sure, this could remain +5 on block if it was slower. But at 13 frames, and you won't fuck it up, it'll be 13 every time because it doesn't function as an electric. You're never going to mess up. It's never going to have an interval in timing. It's going to be one time. I would like to see this move lose its counter hit tornado property and just get follow up again. Right. Even though it's lost its counter hit property, it'll still tornado, but on normal hit, it'll just give Bryan nothing, and on a counter hit, it'll give him either Requiem or like a soccer ball, and that's what he gets for counter hit. That could be like something that you could do for QCB1 if it remains how it is, but I think if it gets slowed down, it's neutral on block, it can still counter hit tornado. Another move I think is ridiculous on Bryan is Hatchet being getting rid of like almost 25 health +5 on hit, and on counter hit, Bryan gets a free soccer ball to threaten again, and it does 45 damage. So for being +5 on hit and launch punishable to like, I think literally only Kazuya is ridiculous. It needs to be like +2 on hit, and -14, or it can say -13 at +2 on hit. This one has too much value. It's pretty much safe. Bryan doesn't take any risks for the reward that he gets at +5 and 45 damage on counter. Another thing is a G-Clef. Should Bryan have a G-Clef? I don't think so. Considering Bryan like isn't like a fast panic tool character, him having a +9 G-Clef is just like a little bit fucking ridiculous. Now we'll talk about Bryan's install. Obviously, Bryan goes along with Asuka here, where he doesn't maintain install, get install, or leave heat with install unless he does something like this for his install, where he goes like that. Bryan can keep installing that. If he doesn't do that, he doesn't get it in heat. The first thing we'll talk about here is Soul Eraser. This should not wall splat on block. It no longer wall splats on block and does not trigger a stage hazard on block. I think it's fine if it like did like the wall crush, wall stagger thing where they crumple to the ground for frames. I think that's totally fine. That's how it should be. And for the uncharged version, this should be -11. This should not be safe. Just how like anyone that has like a charged version of a move, they do like the instant version like Kazuya. If he does the charge punch off the down forward 3 series, it's -14 if he does the fucking fast version. Although this is an install, Bryan can only really do this once, it still should not be -9. Bryan should lose this. Bryan should not have a full crouch mix. I genuinely don't fucking understand it. Why they gave Bryan this cringe. If they don't choose to remove it, this needs to be low parryable and launch. You can't have two -13 hatchets, this one being +7 on hit, unparryable as it functions as a heat smash. Makes no goddamn sense. So this should be launch, and back one +2 is like only +1 or 2 if they do end up keeping his full crouch mix. Now this wouldn't be talking about Bryan's install if we didn't have this fucking piece of shit. Bryan having a full reversal, like I think Hightone said it well in FDX tier list. You should not be questioning if you are supposed to be blocking when you're like +9 on a heat engager. This reversal is ridiculous. It just shouldn't chip. The fact that it does 14 chip makes no sense to me. It shouldn't do little to no chip. It should only be like +2 on fucking block. Not +5, especially for the chip that it has. Like, I know I have infinite install, but like, it's just ridiculous. And it just shouldn't parry. Bryan shouldn't have a reversal, although I think the move is really fucking cool. Like when he goes, woohoo! It just shouldn't have a reversal. Especially one that wall splats, 14 chip, +5 on block, full reversal at -9. This move is too fucking strong. And now for like the last thing for his install, we have Incinerator, which is just ridiculous. Now I'd rather see this just get removed, as Bryan shouldn't have like strings, especially ones that do what this one does. But if they do choose to keep it, it should have 0 tracking. Bryan, if you step, and then went on to explain how to like nerf this move and like its numbers and tracking. But after like listening to it, no, dude, just remove the move. Bryan loses Incinerator entirely as a thing in install. Bryan's Heat Smash, +9 could be like around, you know, +5 to 6. +9 is quite insane. I'm not really going to talk about Bryan's taunt. I think Bryan's taunt is totally fine after you nerf everything, but Bryan can't keep everything he has with taunt. Now, taunt is really strong, and it does have quite a lot of utility. Taunt does have quite a lot of utility at the wall, but I do think that it makes Bryan a pretty fun and sort of interesting character for at least a player. Now, speaking of Bryan's Heat Smash and then his taunt, I think just together, this is ridiculous. The easiest taunt in the game. Just make a Heat Smash like I-17 or I-18. And no longer will give Bryan taunt Heat Smash. Claudio's not a character that I'm like super familiar with, but from what I understand, Claudio, this is just ridiculous. Especially when you talk about, again, like install and heat. The fact that he can just keep leveraging this dumb bullshit with a Heat Smash that is low that you don't want to block because of this fucking move is just ridiculous. The value that you get from it is genuinely just ridiculous. Just constantly forcing this while in heat is just a brain dead mix-up. This is just stupid. Starburst down +2 needs to be punishable. and not, it's just too good. It is just brain dead. And the fact you're gonna sit here and play the game and fucking just crush everything with Starburst 1+2 is ridiculous. Another thing from Claudio that I'd like to see in terms of like his install, which is pretty much what I'm gonna be talking about here, is forward 1+2, 1+2. It should be punishable. It just shouldn't be like this. His down 1, this string down 1, 2, shouldn't be fucking +6. This move is so stupid. I really don't like this move from him. Again, he's just threatening this and this and this, and it's just so fucking annoying. It should be like +3, 2 to 3 on block. And his season 2 up to it's just so dumb. +4 heat engager. His while running 2, I like to see just get just less general chip. And the damage he gets on this shit is just ridiculous, dude. Like, look at that. He's chunks you, bro. It's way too much damage, in my opinion, at least. And there's this move that has like jump scared me 100 times. I'm just sitting here waiting for Claudio to do something, and he just bang. Dude, this move is so ridiculous. +8? Are you fucking kidding me? Just going into heat and doing this, and then this, and then this, and then this. It's just like, dude, please fuck off, bro. It's so annoying. I don't know why that's +8, bro. Please, like, that's like, I just don't know why he even has this. I mean, does he need this when he has this? Clive is a character of all time, just a character that just feels like he has almost no weakness. Obviously not a Tekken character, right? Like more in line with like a Soul Calibur character if I've ever seen one. I'm just gonna kind of go in order here with just what I think needs to be nerfed. Back 1 on Clive needs looking at. This move is ridiculous. -13, and the fact that like just for like an easy combo, he gets this piece of shit off a -13 fucking counter hit mid is just ridiculous. That move, back 1, needs to be launched on Clive. Or -14 at the absolute minimum, in my opinion. Now, his down 1+2 should not function as a steel pedal, especially because he already has a fucking steel pedal in back 4. I don't know why he has like a god fucking move, and this counter hit tornadoes. If you get him to do anything, bang, you just get launched. Right, absolutely fucking ridiculous. And this also shouldn't be -6. This is -6 on block. It should be -9. And it shouldn't function as a steel pedal, right? I don't know if they can even do that because it's literally an explosive pain. But just don't make it explosive. And then Bryan, he can just use this. Keep saying Bryan because I was there to him. Clive has back 4 as a steel pedal. Also, the pushback is fucking ridiculous. -6, but it's my turn, so I can do down 1+2. You do anything, bang! The fact that a guest character from Final Fantasy has a safe heat engaging fucking demon's breath pisses me off. When Heihachi and REINA don't get that as Mishimas who invented the fucking move. This should be -12 to 14, and they can still heat engage. So now we'll talk about Mr. Rossfield's Phoenix shift shit. The fact that this is safe. I know the Hell Sweep is a launch, but this should not be safe. A mid -7 heat engager makes no sense to me. And say he does want to take some frames, he has this piece of shit +7 mid from Phoenix shift that he can just do from neutral. Just hit this. Right, it's just so brain dead. It's so brain dead. Now moving on to Phoenix shift for a second, we have Give Me Thunder. The fact that this stupid fucking move is +3 on block is so stupid, bro. Why is this like not like minus fucking at least like 12? I don't get it. Look at the pushback. It's just so stupid. Why you give me Thunder and it's +3 50 damage fucking counter hit mid. Now we'll talk about the most egregious part of Clive's kit, his heat utilization. Just to preface, every one of Clive's heat strings should be unsafe. This should be -11. This fucking stupid shit, why is this -8? Genuinely, why? This should be also punishable. This being -8 is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that this string actually tornadoes is so stupid. It's so dumb. I cannot believe he has that many hits on a tornado. And then he has this heat smash that's just broken. Hits the floor, hits everything. You cannot punish him. Nothing. You can't do anything with this heat smash. And then he has the Phoenix shift heat smash, which just like it heals +8. And, oh my god, it's so annoying. So that's right there what I would nerf on Clive. Let me know what you guys think about Clive. Deviljin, I don't really have like any nerfs. Honestly, I think the character is completely fine on like genuinely as is. The only things I can think of that could be generally a little bit problematic with him, like planet currently, is Shackle being plus 11, just like into Morning Crow is like, it's a lot of frames. I'll mention this on Deviljin, but I won't mention it on Kazuya and Jin because this nerf goes for them as well. But Forward 2 can't be safe and launching. I think either if you want it to remain a launcher in heat, it has to be unsafe out of heat, or they are always -9 and they don't launch on heat, meaning you would get like a Steel Peddler or something like that. His Morning Crow unblockable, I don't really know why he has this. Although I don't find it like super problematic, it's definitely annoying. And his Heat Smash just being plus 11 into plus 8. I mean, it's really whatever, but I feel like maybe it could like lose some of the frames during Morning Crow, so you could maybe float him or something. There's some nuance there that could give him something on Morning Crow that like isn't super plus but beats out the mash or something. But that's really it, dude. Deviljin is completely and totally fine. Actually, there is one thing. This needs to stop pushing back on the wall, just like Anna. This needs to not do that. And that's it for Deviljin. And kind of the same thing goes for Dragunov. I really don't think Drag needs that many nerfs. Honest to God, I really don't think so. The only thing I can really think of for him is this no longer is a launcher. A 12 frame launcher. That's the only thing I think of that really. And Pinch Roll 2 could be -10, especially because like a wall splat's crazy Yoki situation with this at the wall. That's really it, dude. Let me know, honestly. I would love to know what you guys think should be nerfed on Deviljin and Dragunov because nothing really comes to mind. Now, as you can see, Eddy is the only character in the game that I didn't buy because this is the genuine least interesting character in the entire game. Nothing about him screams, I know what I'm doing. But I still do have some things that I would like to see nerfed on Eddy. Eddy being on his hands does not count as airborne. So if he gets rage arted or hit with a heat burst, he's no longer getting airborne damage reduction. He's on his fucking hands. He is not in the air. He has a 3+4 in heat and is a +9 fucking mid. No. Take that away from him. He also has QCF4 in heat. That's also +9 mid. No. He can either have 1 or none at all. I don't get, and it shouldn't be +9. +5 is plenty. The only other thing with Eddy is I think that he could use some animation slowing or smoothing because genuinely who understands what's coming besides like very few flowchart things. Now we move on to the giant tie monster that is Fahkumram, because this character, I mean, he's like very like, you're like guessing for 60 seconds straight. I'll show you guys this funny clip I saw on Twitter that kind of like encompasses, encapsulates what it's like kind of fighting Fahkumram.
I don't play Bryan. I play Fahkumram. I play fair characters.
Right.
That nigga said a fair character. That nigga, all that nigga do is flip coins for 60 seconds.
That's not fair.
I'm not gonna lie though. Would you rather fight Fahkumram or would you rather fight Bryan?
I'd rather fight Bryan. I swear to God on my life. I'll put that on my grandmama's grave. I'd rather fight Bryan.
Fahkumram is minus hell on everything.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not about to be sitting here flipping coins with this gigantic ass nigga for 60 seconds around.
You notice how he's
Punish everything.
But yeah, he's unsafe, but you're just kind of guessing like all the time, but it really isn't that. He's fine. He can just be kind of a pest. The only two things I have noted are his guard break stance 4 should be launch. Right, this should be launch punish. I do think that this here should not be safe. And for his heat smash, this should come down in frames. Although +7 is like pretty like in line. Like it could like lose like a frame or two. And that's it. That's what I got for Fahkumram. Now Feng's a character that like, dude, like he doesn't need anything. Like I mean, I feel like he takes risks. His combo games isn't that strong. Although he is really strong. He's a strong character. I don't know. I need help on this one, genuinely. I really need help. What is it about Feng that makes him too strong that I hear a lot of people complaining about him? But at the same time, Feng is like one of the least picked characters in this entire game. Like, who is picking Feng? So this is a character, I'm sorry if you were actually like looking forward to see for some reason how I would nerf Feng, but I have no idea. Now, while I was watching FDX's tier list, with Landon and High Tone, I was very shocked at the almost top 5 placement of Heihachi. In my opinion, he is not the best Mishima. I know Warrior's Instinct is very strong, we're going to get into that. He has very definitive weaknesses that don't make him the best Mishima, although he is very strong. Now, when it comes to Heihachi, we're not going to talk about really much in his neutral, because there's nothing in his neutral that needs to be talked about. I know some people really hate this, but skill issue. This move, it is brain dead. A lot of Heihachis do love throwing this, but they just don't know the counterplay when it comes to stepping it. And it's just like any move that is charged, if he doesn't charge it, you get clipped, right? That's just how it works. So before we talk about Heihachi's heat smash, let's talk about his heat in general. Besides his heat smash, his heat is actually pretty balanced, but there are two things I think Heihachi could have either tweaked or entirely removed from his heat. So first this. In the neutral as a homing move, it does too much damage. It does way too much damage. Like if you're in this situation and you try to step the attack after the heat burst, bro, that just does way too much damage. That needs to come down. I don't think Heihachi at the wall really needs this scenario, because this is already strong enough. So that move could either get removed or toned down in damage. Now we've all been in that scenario where Heihachi just basically takes you to the wall and it pops heat, and now you have to wake up to a heat smash, which is very linear, but the issue is he has a 50 damage homing heat string and up forward 4-1. Right, it does way too much damage. Like this is ridiculous. A 50 damage homing, I know it's 25 frames, it's really slow, but he has a 50 damage homing move, so you literally can't step him. With back 3-3-2 and up forward 4-1 in heat, it's just too much damage. Mind you, it's also +2 on block, so that needs to come down in damage as well. The last thing we'll talk about is this broken stance slop. This move, just switching into this stance, please take this entirely away. Heihachi is not a slop character, or a stance slop character. Please remove that entirely. It needs to go away. For Mr. Heihachi, now he's one of the characters I'm going to talk about so far. I think the only character that I've talked about so far that has a wall splitting heat smash. And a lot of people want wall splitting heat smashes to go away. I'm not one of them, but it's very specific when it comes to them. Wall splitting heat smashes should only be on characters that have 2 heat smashes, i.e. Jin and Heihachi. For Heihachi, when it comes to wall splitting heat smashes, they should do very minimal damage. So when you have his heat smash, it does around 50 damage. It should do 15, right? And the damage comes from the combo. So say you didn't want to press one button to do the slam heat smash. You actually wanted to get the damage on your own. That's where you get it from the wall. From doing the wall combo, not the actual heat smash itself, to avoid 100 damage 15 frame heat smashes. Also, when it comes to heat smashes that are on the wall, just like Jin, this should not 50-50. If you opt for the wall slotting one, you do not get a 50-50 in this stance. So now the heat smash has been lowered in damage and it no longer gets a 50-50 on block. I think one of the big things for this is no longer getting a high wall splat, being off of backstep back 4-1 and off of forward 4-2. So now say you got the 15 damage new heat smash from Heihachi that wall splats, you only get certain options like that wall splat or forward 4-2 or back 1-4, and they no longer high wall splat, right? Now we'll talk about Warrior's Instinct, which is probably the most, not even probably the most problematic thing about Mr. Heihachi. We'll talk about this being safe. No, is still unsafe, just like it is out of Warrior's Instinct. His Raijin 1 is still unsafe at the wall, so if you make the wrong read at the wall on the heat smash, this is no longer safe. Or if you would just rip this in the neutral, unsafe. This is still unsafe. I don't know why he has a safe counter hit launching hell sweep that has this right here on it. This confirm is like, I just don't get it. His hell sweep should still stagger and make him die. Speaking of Heihachi's hell sweep, Why he gets a -10 section to his health sweep makes no sense. It should be -11 to 12. The fact that you only get a dick jab is really fucking dumb. It should be -11 to 12, the second hit of his health sweep. One last thing with Warrior's Instinct is this situation right here. I don't know why this is in the game. Where's the gray health? Like, why does he have the ability to just not give gray health and just like entirely take that shit away? Like, like it's very easy with Heihachi to take away all your gray health. Also, a 12 frame launcher, like just for like an easy combo, like 53 damage of basically no gray health obtained to get back. 12 frame launcher I think is pretty cool, honestly. But I don't know. I just think that that's like too strong on top of everything else. And the last thing I'll talk about here for Warrior's Instinct is a +1 for 3. I don't know. It's cool. It's really cool, but definitely ridiculous with like the chip as well. But yeah, that's Heihachi in a nutshell. That's what I think should be nerfed on him, and he doesn't need any buffs. So for Hwoarang, someone much smarter than me needs to talk about this character. I think I'm too stupid to go over this character on my own. I just generally feel that it needs to be his turn less for pressing shit. It just feels like he goes on for days. I very much dislike. It feels like a chore fighting him. I just feel like I'm like in a fucking slot machine. 443, I just think is a little ridiculous. +6 on block, hits the floor, forces crouch. It feels like genuinely just kind of like a perfect tool. This has so much recovery. Like he just recovers so fucking fast. And yeah, that's all I got for Rang, man. Again, just like Feng, I'm gonna need some help here in the comments. I would love to be informed what makes this character truly strong, and again, like on the numbers side. Another character that I'm a little unfamiliar with, man. I really try my best to understand these characters, but Jack like isn't like he's annoying, but he's like not broken. Like I don't hate fighting Jack. I think it's really like the kit. It's the players, the dumbasses that pilot, the dudes that just be eating crayons and shit. Those dudes are morons usually that play Jack. Honestly, this is no other word to describe them. They're dumb. They're dummies. But Jack feels like he tracks a lot. One thing that that really bugs me about Jack is while running 1+2, this shit feels impossible to step sometimes. Is it because he's a big hulking idiot and has a huge body, so it makes it hard to step? I don't know what. This low is annoying. -12 hits grounded, and full crouch down back 1. Right, they're like the same thing. Right, they hit grounded, they're relatively safe, and they're like and I don't know, this move I think it sets up for really annoying situations with Jack at the wall where he's just fucking sitting here spamming down back 1, full crouch down back 1. Like it's so annoying. His gamma charge 2 +11, no, +7. Like again, like I think that like I don't know what to put the devs, like, dude, +11 is like fucking retarded. Like, it's like +5 is plenty for a character to have. Like, especially for like non-charge up moves, like this isn't slow, it's just I-20. Also, Gamma Charge 4 feels not linear sometimes. This shit should not track, like, at all. Like, I know it's a high, but holy fuck, this shit tracks. So it's getting hit with like bang, and then bang, and you can't move, and then bang. It feels hard to move sometimes against this fucking guy. Also, I feel like Jack should just generally have like less combo travel than everyone else because he's a big dumb robot. He's made for like optimization in terms of like quick damage, not like elongating shit out. I feel like that's kind of like what he's meant for, to take you down like as fast as possible with like big damaging moves, not taking you across the stage like a fucking like REINA. I just feel like he just should have like less travel than everyone else. And that's it for Jack. Again, I'd love to know more things about Jack in the comments that should be nerfed or even buffed. Or if I'm bitching about Jack because he is my top 3 most hated character in this game. So now we move on to Jin. And before, when I mentioned that I don't think that Heihachi is the best Mishima, this is who I think the best Mishima actually is. Now, I want to make a video talking about like ranking the Mishimas between each other, why I think one is above the other. So I won't go into it too much in depth in this video. So we'll just kind of talk about Jin and his need for nerfing. So number 1 on Jin, this is the, in my opinion, is the one thing that needs to be nerfed heavily. That, dude, that is just ridiculous. Like, I genuinely don't understand why his electric tracks is so hard. Dude, it is such a nightmare trying to fight this character neutral, because he can just throw out this crazy ass electric, this wind god hook, at like insane frames. And it tracks every time to every side. It's so scary fighting him. A lot of people really dislike this string. I'm impartial to it. I think he can keep it. It's maybe make it unsafe. That's just kind of Jin's thing, is he's kind of poking you around. So I don't mind him keeping back forward 2-3. Another thing for me that I really hate is forward 4. This move like is for dummies. Like, Jin is like, do you want to play a Mishima but like not really have that much fundamental skill? That's Jin Kazama. Forward 4 needs to be how it is like in Tekken 7, where you threw it, it counter hit, and you had to wave dash into it while standing 4. It should be like that. I also think that if you're going to nerf it like that, in terms of like how difficult it is to use, it can say -8, but if not, it has to be -10 or 11. I think that Zen 2 should be -10 to 11. That's all. Our moves should be punishable, and this no longer tail spins. So when Jin does forward 4, he can't transition into Zen for this easy ass combo. And forward 4 will no longer be able to be picked up with run up back 3, because that is just fucking stupid. That will no longer work. So how do you combo forward 4 counter hit? If you don't opt for while standing 4, like a wave dash in the while standing 4, and Zen 2 no longer tail spins for easy combo, Jin has to Zen, crouch dash, CD1. Right, so Jin can do any of those options still for big damage. That way, if you do want to opt for like this, you have to Zen cancel, right? So it'll make it'll make Jin a bit more difficult and not make him just this monkey character that we're used to. Just like Heihachi, his heat smash will do like 15 to 20 damage, and will give him the combo route that he chooses. I do think that Jin should be able to keep backup can high wall re-wall splat, because like he does do his own thing. He's separate from the other characters, from the other Mishimas. So I think it's fine if he keeps that, and he has like a bit more damage than Heihachi does on his heat smash. And the last thing for Jin that I would like to see is his old Tekken 7 house sweep. I don't like this one. I like his old one with back to 1 pickup. It's a hell of a lot more interesting than the one he has now. And that really is it for Jin. So Jun is an interesting character that I actually genuinely think is pretty cool. Although I don't really play many of the girl characters, Jun is a character that I actually do think is pretty neat. Just to start off with Miss Kazama, remove the install, please. It's so uninteresting. It's got to be one of the most boring installs, like fucking just nothing burger install. I just get rid of it, please. This right here, go away. So fucking stupid. That needs to just please just take this sniper rifle away. Just like Asuka, her back 3, ridiculously annoying to deal with. So the same thing for Asuka, and just like Asuka's can, same shit that I talked about before. Her can. Her down 1+2. Please make this punishable. This is so dumb. It feels so annoying to deal with. Same with the extension to her down forward 2. Why is this safe? If it's going to be safe, why is it not a mid-high to like mix up, right? Like you don't move on her DF2 because you're waiting for the mid-high. It's just a fucking mid-mid. Why? Also, this here needs to be launch. I don't know why that's not launch punish. I would rather see it removed from her. But I kind of like the idea of characters having like 2 heat smashes, or like old heat smashes becoming heat moves, but they have to be unsafe, right? Because they were heat smashes prior, right? Or whatever the fuck. It needs to be unsafe. Also, Jun is one of those characters that when it comes to like core system changes, like to heat and combos and strings and realignment, she gets hit pretty hard. right? She won't be doing crazy shit, but just in general, this in general, like I think needs to be nerfed to the wall, the damage that this kind of gives. She does have like this too, like, which is fine. This in general at the wall. But yeah, I like June. I think she's actually pretty cool. I think if she gets hit by system changes, it'll definitely affect her, plus the stuff that we just talked about currently. All right, so this guy right here is my main, right? I love Kazuya, but Kazuya does have some inherently strong things that do need to come down. Now, we saw in the trailer that 112 gives the same effect as 442 right there. Not sure how I feel about that. I hope I don't have to, I'm not forced to do that, because this scenario right here is way stronger than any fucking devil form thing I could get. Knocked down in the wave dash. But let's talk about Kazuya right now. In terms of what he is, I think he's relatively balanced. I know a lot of people, or some people, a lot of people don't want to hear that, but some things that do need to get nerfed on Kazuya is DB4 plus 17. It's so crazy. I don't know why he has that. So this needs to come down to like plus 8 or 9 at the absolute most. I can stay plus 4 on regular hit, but on counter this needs to be plus like 8 or 9. And down 1 plus 2, one of two things. It either needs to be no longer counter hit launches, and if it does counter hit launch, it needs to be launch punish. So if it doesn't counter hit launch anymore, and it just counter hits like normal, Kazuya will get like a steel pedal, right? So if he does down 1 plus 2, and down 1 plus 2 launches, he gets this all that. But if it remains launch punish with the while standing 1 plus 2 follow up, he needs to be minus 15 to 16 on that move. Especially because it's, you know, evasive and all these things. This needs to go away on Kazuya. This last devil mix shit needs to go. It should just, if he goes for the hell sweep, it just removes his heat. Now, I haven't talked about this all that much yet, other than on Armor King, but moves that regenerate heat need to go away as well. So Kazuya gets that entirely removed away from him. No more regenerating heat for Kazuya. And one last potential nerf you could give to Kazuya is Patricide not being plus 5, although I think it should be. This move is totally fine. I just think that, like, even like the chip damage, like, isn't that great. It's like 9 chip damage. Maybe you could bring the chip down to 5 and make the plus frames like 3 or 4 instead of 5, but it's not a frame trap into itself. It just sets up like DF2 and electric. I'm not sure which streamer it was that I was watching. It might have been Denny, where he was talking about why does Kazuya in Heat have like a secondary heat smash, where he gets Rising Sun, like 55 damage. Now, to me, I don't think, let me know what you guys think, that should he still get this on down back 1? Because then if he has 442 heat dash, he could just get that instead if it remains safe. But I don't know, I feel like I like Rising Sun. Maybe they could just like lower the damage that it gives so it's not fucking 55 on a 13 frame. But yeah, that's kind of it for Kazuya. I think Kazuya is pretty normal. He just needs a few changes on his numbers. It's really all it is. It's nothing like core in his kit other than like regenerating heat in last devil mix. Mr. King is a character that I really like. I think a lot of people really like. It's just that unfortunately King has fallen into the dumbass archetype character for idiots, where you don't really have to think to play him. He's gotten, on top of like all the stuff that he already has that's really good, he's turned into like a moron's character. Now I didn't play Tekken 7, so I have no idea if he was actually like this in T7, but in Tekken 8 he is like this. King has really good neutral control, and he has phenomenal control, like a neutral, like good poke buttons. So maybe like a general nerf to poking. King is just so locked down, it's insane. It's genuinely so insane how locked down this character is. It's really fucking annoying. And we can't talk about King in the neutral without talking about the shove that counter hits for 4-2-1. Fucking ridiculous. Like he just controls this neutral so well, man. This should not be safe. This should be minus like 11 to 12. King should not be safe for using this muscle armor on block, or it has to be a high so you can duck it. King has the best down forward 2 in the game. This shit is ridiculous. I'm not entirely sure how you nerf this move, other than making it not hit confirmable like a Bryan down 2-3. I guess it just make it not hit confirmable, so you kind of have to like use it as like a whiff punish tool. It's just too strong. It's so good. I feel like it's the best down forward 2 in the fucking game for its value. I didn't really talk about this on Armor King, but this without the wall, I think just does too much damage. And same with this. They both just do so much damage on top of both being homing and heat. I just think, like, why does this grab do 40? And it's non-recoverable. I think it's just too good of a move, especially when he has like while running 3 to mix in, plus 3, it gives you a free forward 4 on hit. A buff for King in the neutral I would like to see, although it is a heat engager. I would love to see this become plus. This big bull charge. I'm not really sure. I know it's a heat engager. Maybe don't make it a heat engager or something, but I would love to see this become plus, just as like a fucking big plus move. But it is relatively slow. 20, it just looks really slow, but it would be cool to see it be plus. Now we'll talk about King and Heat. I'm not sure who in the dev team decided that this hits the fucking floor, but that needs to stop hitting the ground. When it comes to King, like at the wall, this right here, I just cannot believe that they gave him this. I don't mind this move. I actually think it's really cool, but why it gives a jag sprint, I genuinely don't know. They need to remove the jag sprint from King's 322 as a mix. If we're going to keep the 322 on the mix here, in Heat, King should no longer get instant burning jag sprint. So King still has to run for the power up to get the crazy low or the plus mid, right? Let's talk about jag sprint in general. Jag sprint, this not homing. This can't be a homing mid. You can't step this character in jag sprint. You just have to eat the mix. Like when King is in Heat here, you just have to eat this dumbass mix. It is so fucking stupid. So I would honestly just prefer that King loses all homing in the jag sprint, because like this just shouldn't be plus 12 into a fucking mix. You just have to hold. You cannot play Tekken and make any sort of read other than maybe throwing like a fucking low to try and hit him out of it. But it's so scary because he's got fucking jag 1. So like you land muscle armor, right? Dude, look how plus you are. You're plus 35. Say you land this, right? Now you gotta eat a jag sprint mix. You make the wrong read. Dude, look at your health. That's 70 damage. Like you just have to hold that. So yeah, that's my gripe with King. Other than that, I don't really think he's that problematic. I do kind of hate backstep jag, but I think it kind of fits King's like whole aesthetic. Also, maybe for jag sprint we don't block. You don't block in this. Like if you don't. By the way, if you don't want to go into jag sprint, you don't have to. So like if someone has a rage, you should be as the player. Oh, I probably shouldn't be running at him. No, I'm just gonna block. Like so, again turning King into a dumbass's character. Another character where I'm not too familiar. Honestly, I have no idea. All I know is that the booty bump thing that he gets at the wall, where he just gets like unscaled big ass damage, and that needs to go. Like, I'm not sure why he has that. That's just so fucking insane. Oh yeah, another thing that needs to go. Genuinely no idea why he has this. I don't know who decided that a bear gets a 10 frame fucking tornado. Also, this being a counter hit launcher, I don't really understand that. I don't know why his DB4 is a counter hit launch. He gets like a fucking he gets a snake edge. I think it should just give like a guaranteed follow up, like while running 1+2. This in general, I just don't get why Kuma has something like this. It's just so dumb. On top of like the other shit he has inside of his stance. But yeah, that's my take on Kuma. He's just like a bit ridiculous. Now, Mr. Lars is a character that has too much to talk about, and it's really not that hard to figure out how to like stop Lars from being fucking ridiculous. If you've been on Twitter at all, you've seen this clip. Lars needs to stop going under mids and jumping. Like, this orbital is ridiculous. Like, we'll just talk about the orbital right away. The orbital is fucking so dumb. It is so broken. And the fact that it's only -8, it's so nuts. Lars having a G-Clef that's only -12, retarded. This needs to be launch punish or remove G-Clef from Lars. I think that like this move like really encompasses the issue with Tekken. A +5 homing, heat engaging mid that goes into stance. It's just like, what the fuck? This not being launch genuinely makes no sense. That needs to be launch punish. Silent entry 1 needs to have less pushback. It's ridiculous. It has so much pushback. With Silent entry 2, this again needs to be launch. Silent entry 2 needs to be launch. If it's going to say how it is. If it just doesn't launch and it just gives a free follow-up, it could be like -13 and that's fine. One of his most annoying moves is Silent entry 3+4, because although it does say neutral, throws you into force crouch. So this is like a frame trap for him. And it's just so ridiculous. It needs to not force crouch. And lastly, his heat smash being fucking +12, and he gets to go into Silent entry as well. This needs to be like +5, because he gets +10 into +12. If it's plus like 5, he gets +7 into stance. It should be like +4 to 5, not +10. Lars is another character that's just like a debatable top 5. Genuinely so just fucking disgusting. Let's talk about like the first thing, bro. Regenerating fucking nunchucks and heat on hits is just so dumb. Please take that away. In general, like nunchucks need to, I think they're fine -13, and heat they shouldn't be safe either, and they shouldn't be regenerating heat. I also just don't think his nunchuck should work as a steel pedal while also being a fucking counter hit launcher. It's perfect, dude. It's literally perfect. With Law, I also just like kind of dislike that this slide is really inconsistent for people to punish. Kazuya is lucky to have a punish on this, but this needs to just be universally launched for everyone. And again, we would not be talking about Law and how to nerf Law if we weren't talking about this absolutely atrocious heat smash. What the fuck is that, dude? Genuinely, ew. The range on this is ridiculous. This one, like, again, my take on it, you should not be doing heat smashes at wall slap if you only have a singular heat smash. And then again, I'm going to say this now, goes for Law, goes for Rang, goes for Leo. They should not be having them. And his heat smash, like, going into like +11, you just can't move in here, is absolutely just ridiculous. +11 is way too much. It needs to be like +6, +4, because it goes into DSS. And Law's travel in general, again, Law getting touched by the system changes he won't be nearly as crazy. The system changes that we were hoping that I have talked about before. So Lee is an interesting one. I think Lee is relatively fine. I know that there's been some talks about Lee and his 1+2 into this. His down 3 being really, really good. His heat moves. This is where I think that Lee needs to be talked about first. Remove these. Please. This goes against Lee, and like I hate it so much. Please just remove these moves from Lee. Just revert them, get rid of them. He doesn't need heat moves. Would also love to see while standing 2-3 not give the fucking damage reduction on the lift. So you see right there where his foot lifts up, that he shouldn't have damage reduction right there. Also for Lee, this no longer safe. This no longer safe, and his heat smash, just like other low heat smashes, will be launch punishable, no longer -14, and his DF2 will no longer be safe. I don't think DF2 should be safe. I think that it's just too strong to have safe down 4-2s. But who knows? I kind of it depends, like on the character. Like I don't think it's too problematic for Lee, but he does have like other just really good launchers. But let me know. I'm not a big fan of down 4-2s being safe when they're just so fucking easy to do. Leo's a character I really just fucking hate. This character is ridiculous. In general, he does too much damage, and the fact that he just casually just be going under mids is so fucking frustrating. His heat smash needs to stop wall splatting. It's ridiculous. It's just like Law. He gets so much damage, and Leo for some reason gets a fucking spike, which is stupid. So I would like to see for some things for Leo would be like block 2 no longer being -9. Just should be safe. Like -11 or 12 would be fine for that. Block 3+4 is ridiculous, dude. This is unsteppable and it's not launch. It is so stupid. Leo, like, players are so fucking blessed by this piece of shit move. They just sit here and spam a bunch of string bullshit in your face and think that it's like cool. And then they'll just fucking spam block 2 and block 3+4 because why not? One's safe and one's practically safe and unsteppable. Another thing for Leo, just like every other character, remove the install for heat. His fucking, was it Can-K4? Yeah, this shit is ridiculous. It's so hard to step, only -14. it tracks. It should be launched. Leo has a lot of bullshit, a lot of dumbass moves. Right, then he has like these like really annoying fucking like install strings that just seem to be so advantageous for him. Right, then Leo does like a bunch of fucking annoying strings, and he hits you with like a fucking enhanced hell sweep. So yeah, that's my gripe with Leo. It's not a lot because I don't know a lot about him, but I know that his heat needs to be toned down, his damage, again, system changes will fuck with him. His install needs to be looked at, his Bach 3+4 needs to be looked at. It's just so annoying. Like, what, like, why is he blessed like this? Why, dude, his spike is so dumb, bro. Like, his spike genuinely makes Leo, like, he has so much damage with that, bro. Gonna be a character that I'm a little unfamiliar with. Obviously, we know like back 1+2 is ridiculous. This looks like it might be adjusted in season 3 with what we saw in the trailer, but from what I know about Leroy, obviously like he just does too much damage. His fucking stupid punches, his stupid fucking big punches are just ridiculous. As the heat dash moves on the wall, the damage he gets. Down back 3 is only -8. Fucking stupid should be -13 or at least launch. It should stagger. Not go into Hermit. Yeah, Leroy's a character I'm gonna need some help with in the comments as to why he's super strong, so I understand more about this game. Oh boy, Lidia, man, I can't wait to delve into this shit, bro. Lidia, I love her, man. She is, I wish that she was different because she's probably next to REINA and Lili in terms of like female characters that I think are super badass. All right, so let's get into it. I'll go into my order for my notes so that I don't get lost because there's some things here because you don't know stances. So we have down back 3. I just don't know why it's homing. You know, I remember like hearing something and watching main men talk about it, about how people like didn't like unreactable homing lows in like Tekken 7. And then we have this or in Tekken 8 and it was something in Tekken 7, and then we got Lidia who has a homing low. Like 16 frame fucking, I know it's death for her, but why does she have a homing low? This shit is way too fast. I hate this move from her. And then we have this shit. This shit is just God. Like, I feel like this move is so nuts. Right, like it's not that bad to step, but it sometimes does track. Right, it doesn't always track, but then you do the blue spark version and then she's now tracking you. So it's like, it's really annoying. This move is so frustrating, especially if like what it goes into, right? Like on hit, like you just get a fucking free heat engager into a full fucking mix. Like it's just so ridiculous. So we're just being +5 on block at all times. This shit is ridiculous. And she's got honestly some of the easiest blue sparks I've ever fucking operated on a character in my life. We'll look at a heat smash quick. Again, a +10 into stance. No, there is no counterplay to that. +10 into stance, absolutely not. She's 16 frame unblockable, so you have 6 frames to move. You're kind of not moving. So you really shouldn't even move on fucking -5. Yeah, her heat smash needs to come down to like +4 on +4 on block. Okay, so then we have Cat 4. This is ridiculous. Okay, so after some brief testing, this move isn't nearly as bad as I thought. I was just bitching. The next thing with Lidia is like this right here being +6 on block is fucking ridiculous. I don't know why this is +6 on block. It's been like +2, bro. Like genuinely, in what world is this a +2 or +6 fucking mid after a heat smash into stance that you can't do anything about? Because it's 13 frames, even if her heat smash is +4 on block in the stance, it's still a frame trap, right? So you still can't move. So it shouldn't be then +6 after that. Like it's just, make it like +2, +1, +2. And then with Lidia, her Wolf 1, when she's in heat, is +15 into Heaven and Earth. Non-charge is +10. Wolf 1 being +10 on block in the Heaven and Earth mix is just so ridiculous because you go into the +6 mid into unblockable 16 frame. It should just be +4 because out of heat it's only +2. So just make it +4 to 5. It's so ridiculous, like the plus frames that you just keep stacking on. And the charged version should be +15. It should be like +8. And Wolf 1 out of heat should be +4, not 7. And obviously there's like all of Lidia's install dumb shit where she's doing like 140 damage. I'm not even gonna get into that, dude. Her install just needs to be removed. There's no saving it. Now this is a character I'm excited to talk about because Lili seems to kind of fly under a radar. Everyone knows she's a good character and that most people that pilot her are exceptionally skilled at this game and have a good understanding of what's going on. But Lili has some like genuine actual dumb shit that needs to be addressed. The main thing I want to talk about right here is down forward 3+4. This move is essentially homing. It has got to be the most annoying shit in the world to try and step. Like this shit is fucking homing. Like it missed there, but if you catch anyone moving, look at that. That's so dumb. This move is ridiculous. It needs to stop being homing. Like this is honestly the move that I bitched about the most on Lili is her stupid down forward 3+4. It is so difficult to step. Another move on Lili that I really hate trying to move against is forward 4. This shit also feels like it's homing. This shit is basically fucking homing. Like I know it's a forward move and those tend to just track a bit more, but this shit is just annoying. It tracks, she just goes to them every time without fail. It's very annoying. Why did he just jump? Into back turn, like why is he jumping? Yeah, this needs to have a little bit more linear like ability than just fully tracking everything. Her body just always turns to them into back turn. And now we're about to go talk about something in back turn that drives me nuts. So now in back turn, we have back turn 1+2 being only -11. And I say this only because Lili is pretty easy to get into back turn, but she has this insane Oki setup where at the wall, Lili does this. So she has that Oki setup where if you get up right in back turn, Lili gets this full launch and gets to go send you to the other wall. So this is the reason like I really hate this move. This move right here, mixed in with her low heat smash, is just an unbelievable nightmare, and that also can wall splat. And it's technically safe, but as my brother informed me, you can get a 13 frame in between that. But it should be launched. Doesn't put her back into back turn and should be launched. It's a low heat smash. Another thing with Lili, this I think would be -10. But I mean, like, it's just such an annoying robbery fucking move. And if like you don't do anything or whatever, or you do block it, you don't have like the time to step it, you didn't step it, you just get fucked. I just think it should be -10. Like, not like just like in a Win Godfist where like you don't always punish it, but sometimes you do get like if you do end up like blocking it, you do get the punish. And then we have Heat Elegant, which is +7 on blocking the back turn, which like it's a mid-high, right? So it's really like not that scary, but +7 is pretty crazy for like a heat move. That is really good for a heat move, and not to mention she has this +7 fucking drill kick, which I just don't think should be +7. So yeah, I think that like this is like I'm like pretty indifferent on like this can remain +7 as it is a mid-high, but like +7 into her back turn. But the fact that it like goes in a back turn when Lili has a 8-frame heating feature is pretty fucking nuts. Like that is really strong. So that's why I say like +7 is a little too high, and same with her drill kick. Very good to have +7 there. And then Lili regenning heat here. No regenning heat. This is where I have an issue with Lili. My issue with Feisty Rabbit is like when Lili does a combo like this one, like not an Oki setup, like there's like a generic Lili combo. She does this setup. It's insanely strong for Lili to get a free voila, and the fact that this is a counter hit launcher and only -13. Like it's genuinely ridiculous. Like the value she gets from that is just ridiculous. And then she gets a full heat dash +5 mid out of that. It's just toxic. On top of Lili having a relatively low save heat smash, +7 heat moves that frame trap into her heat smashes that are 16 frames at +7 on block heat moves. If you do anything on this setup on the ground here, you just get counter hit launched. Right, it's too strong. Lili has really good heat. So if Lili wants to keep this setup that also counter hit launches, I think Lili has to take a risk on her health bar, or it no longer counter hit launches. And I'm honestly fine with this because this is just like a Bryan QCB 3 catch it kick. that guarantees soccer ball. So, and Lily's kind of like the girl version of Bryan. It's kind of like what I think about her as. And Lily's like another character that will get hit pretty heavily with system changes because sure, wall travel is pretty fucking disgusting. Now, Miary's isn't really a character that I really think needs nerfing. I think she's pretty fine. Obviously, safe DF2 is always something I'm going to be like, this is annoying. But I think she's like relatively fine. Like, I don't think that Miary's is overpowered. Personally, I think she's like pretty normal. I think she's a good character that they released. Like one of the better ones they've released in a while. The only thing I can think of is DB3. This low that some people will be like is reactable. Counter hit launching. Not a fan, but it is launch punish. So can you really complain? Minus 26. It's not like a Kazuya D1 plus 2. You can't really complain about it when it is in fact launch punish. As well, I think this should have no pushback. 0. I should be able to take my turn right away after I minus 9. But yeah, that's pretty much it with Miary. I think she's actually, Miary's is probably one of the best characters that they've released in a while. Dude, Nina's a character that I think is honestly like probably one of the coolest top tiers. It's just that like with her quarter circle back canceling is got to be the most like annoying thing to deal with when a Nina is just poking you down with stances, just doing this over and over again and taking insane frames. This has to be, it needs to come down. Like she is just like the queen of control and it's very frustrating to deal with. The only moves that I can think of off the top of my head, like back 2-2 is, this move is just like you can get fucking Tekken King just getting into this. It is so good. It is such a good move at 12 frames. Because like Nina takes insane, like a lot of insane frames, like really good frames into like 4-3 counter hit. And it's just so insane. But really, like I think Nina's like in a pretty good spot. I just think that they could like maybe lower her frames on her stance canceling or not allow her to cancel nearly as much from certain moves. But generally the one thing I think everyone wants to see nerfed on Nina is this bullshit. While standing 1 is just ridiculous. This needs to go away. But I would also love to know some Nina things in the comments because I'm really confused on her whether or not she's like broken or just kind of like just top tier. I'm a little confused on her, but I'd love to know because I do love me some Nina. Panda is kind of similar to Kuma, where I don't really know shit about bears, but I-10 launcher is ridiculous. It needs to go away. Booty bump needs to go away on Panda. Down back 4 being a counter hit needs to go away. I don't mind Panda having a demon's breath. Honestly, it's really not that big a deal because it is minus 13 unlike Clive. But again, this needs to go away. Dumb. Super fucking dumb. Now with Paul's a character again kind of like Lili, but I think even more than Lili is like just doesn't get talked about enough as being like broken. Like this character is for, I feel like people that like want to seem like they're doing something crazy, but this character is for dumbasses. Like there is some inherently difficult things you can do with Paul. Just because like that's difficult or sort of difficult doesn't mean that like Paul gets to just like get away with murder, right? Like with Paul, I don't hate Paul's deep dive, right? I like his deep dive. It's just his deep dive and his backsway shit can be very annoying to like deal with on block. Like Paul just constantly leveraging his backsway shit. Like this Paul like kind of feels like stance slap at times. It's very annoying. Paul's shoulder needs to stop having pushback. And his teleporting shoulder needs to stop making the game fucking bug out and freak out. It is just ridiculous. This shoulder needs to have no pushback. This shit needs to stop with the death fist, dude. Like genuinely, holy fuck, that death fist needs to be linear. Entirely linear, nothing besides linear. It has way too much random hitbox. It needs to stop. It has way too much fucking hitbox, bro. Another move that like I really just hate on Paul that I see a lot of Pauls use and get away with in low ranks, and even up to like Tekken King, they still use this move. Forward 2-2. Not punishable unless you low parry. Fuck off. It's really annoying because Paul has this, so you see this coming because he has this, and then he has this. So it's like, holy fuck, sometimes like I try to duck and a shitty Paul will just be mashing this shit and I get clipped because I want to block this but I have to low parry. I'm so worried about it. This needs to be punishable with launch. QCB 1+2 needs to stop evading every, it feels like I'm getting hit by Lars orbital. Like it goes back but under mids. Like, dude, holy, like actually fuck off. It is so annoying. QCB2 also just needs to like fuck off. Either it needs to be -10 or 11 or loses pushback so I can take my turn. Because Paul just spams this to get into heat at all times, and Paul and heat we're about to talk about is a bunch of horse shit. So Paul spams like down forward 1 QCB2 at all times, and then Paul we have like heat smash should be launch punishable just like every other character that is all heat smash. Like, in what world is that okay? From that distance, dude, don't get me wrong, it's like super cool to wall splat from super far, but like, holy shit, bro. Like, in what world is that like genuinely okay for like not even like, I'm doing quarter circle forward 2, quarter circle forward 1, quarter circle forward 3+4, down 1+2, and then sure, like, maybe doing like the backsway shit can be difficult or whatever, but like it's not hard, bro. Like this needs to lose its fucking ability to wall splat from like a fucking 1,000 feet away. Then we have this situation where Paul's a card right that wall splats, and you can kind of just it's grounded, and then he's got this situation with the wall splat where he does this, bing bonk, bing, and you get up and you get wall splat again with down 1 full charge 2 into this again. So should Paul have a, should he keep his +12 guard break, or should he stop wall splatting? And that's pretty much it with Paul. I mean, we all know he does crazy damage. He has really good demo man, but there's just a few things that need to be looked at on Paul that just make him ridiculous. Although the one thing I will say, this just even though I said like this doesn't take a lot of skill to do, he should keep the damage on this. This should be doing big ass damage for Paul. I'm gonna skip over this one. I don't know, genuinely I have no idea. I just know that he carries me forever around the wall, but this one I need genuine actual help with. Is this character too strong or what? Dude, I have no idea, bro. Raven is an anomaly to me. Now with this one, this is my main, so I will try not to be biased, even though I agree REINA does need nerfs. People don't seem to really realize how risky REINA is. Like, they complain about her, but they don't really know the matchup, genuinely. REINA takes a lot of risks that people don't really seem to understand. I fight a lot of REINAs who get away with murder because people just are C-stance and are just terrified to press a button. Like, genuinely. The move that everyone seems to hate, or that I know everyone hates, is forward forward 2. Everyone hates forward forward. They always talk about REINA's forward forward 2 sim, blah 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 blah. Let's talk about forward forward 2. Forward forward 2 doesn't actually exist, right? REINA doesn't get to do anything on block, right? If you jab REINA out of this, right? See, you trade with REINA, right? On block, forward forward 2, you trade with REINA there. You do not have to respect REINA right there. And side note, dick jabbing works phenomenally against REINA in her Sentai, although the Sentai 3 can be a little weird when it comes to interacting with a dick jab, but you can just dick jab or down jab REINA as well as stand jabbing. Right, that's the only time REINA will fuck with you. On that stance right there, where REINA does the armor, and REINA can beat you out there. That's the only thing. This is the counterplay, but that's not fair to be like just grab the middle of her stance, because that's fucking stupid. So there is counterplay. You just have to understand that REINA isn't just like you see 442, you just have to eat it. But there are ways to nerf it, in my opinion, Sentai and 442 in general, because I do think that I don't like that REINA's Spanish move, because that's why REINA has the worst win rate in the game, because REINA players are fucking stupid. When they get into REINA, they just turn into fucking stance monkeys. And that's not what REINA is like at all. So let's get into how we can nerf REINA after showing you what actually is going on here. So Miss REINA, I think that if forward 2 whiffs, you shouldn't go into Sentai. Right? On whiff, Sentai shouldn't be accessible. That way you don't have to do anything, you don't have to deal with the armor or the low crush, or the high crush. You can just whiff punish REINA. When it comes to Sentai 3, I think that REINA has enough heat engagers in this, and in this, that REINA doesn't need this to heat engage as well as a homing high. I would like to see Sentai 3 no longer heat engage, and it's +2 on block instead of +1, and +6 on hit. That way REINA's not, because everyone is always dealing with this situation. REINA's always in heat. She does this dumb bullshit, and everyone's complaining about REINA being blah 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 blah, stance, heat. So just make it so REINA can no longer attack on 442 whiffing, and the 3 option, the homing high that heat engages, is now +2 on block instead of +1, no longer heat engaging, and is +6 on hit, giving REINA more advantageous frames on a better move. You could even also remove the homing high. I wouldn't even be mad if you got rid of the fucking homing trail on this. If REINA wanted to fully step, right, and you had to like realign with REINA on this, I wouldn't even mind. REINA is only +4 on here, which leads to like really only this is a frame trap. And this also being -14 that you can launch punish with, like on Bryan or any Mishima if you're cracked enough. But you gotta understand is like when REINA does something and you guess right, like on any of her things, like you duck the Sentai 3+4, REINA dies. You duck this, REINA dies. You duck this, REINA dies. On block, this is not real. You don't have to respect shit in that. And that's gonna be pretty much it for Forward 4-2. Those are the nerfs I would like to see for it. That way REINA isn't always dropping into heat all the time because it's very, very annoying to deal with. Now, one thing on REINA I think could actually get buffed is her CD44 not being launch punishable on the second hit. It's currently -10 on Heihachi, but like I said, it should be around -11 so that you can hold the wall standing 4-4 punish, and REINA should get that as well on the second hit of her CD44. On the second hit of her health sweep if she opts for the secondary low. Like the frames on it aren't crazy, you're +2, so it shouldn't be launch. REINA doesn't really have any plus frames from crouch dash other than the electric. I would like to see potentially as a buff the REINA CD14 being like +1 on block, which would be pretty cool to see, but that's like a maybe thing. Now we have this move that REINA got in season 2 that she does not need. REINA does not need this move to bring her into Antonku where she does this shit or does this or can do a counter hit mid in 3. Like, she doesn't need that. REINA has plenty of options. REINA doesn't need down to 1+2 because at +9, REINA has plenty. She's got her special command throw. REINA can at +9 do sidestep 4, forward neutral 4 Sentai, forward 4. She's got electric. She can fucking CD14. She can choose to raw Sentai to do this mix up into like taking auto parry. REINA's got house sweep. She can do wall running 3, or she can do fucking wall running 4 into Heaven's Wrath. REINA doesn't need it. She has plenty of options. So this move in heat should just entirely get removed from REINA. This is not needed. But if they do choose to keep it, it should lose frames from +7 to +4, and I just don't think it should go back into stance. Now, I know I really don't want to buff anyone, but like some potential buffs for REINA, I already talked about CD14 maybe being plus. Sidestep 4 maybe like being +2 on hit. Because this is like, okay, I would like to see this one be like being +1 or +2. And then maybe like potentially REINA's command throw could just wall splat from this like distance, or like from a distance, not that distance specifically, but if REINA sends to the wall with it, or even like here, like she should be able to punish accordingly. So that could be like maybe some buffs for her, but that's pretty much it for REINA. REINA doesn't need a whole lot. I think people seem to learn that REINA isn't as stance crazy as they might think she is. I'm not even gonna fucking pick Shaheen here. Genuinely, who has any idea, just make his low heat smash launch punishable. After that, I genuinely have no goddamn idea. I'm gonna need some advice on this guy here. Steve feels like stance slop at times, but like it's not something that like I really hate. It just seems really tedious to deal with. Like he activates Lionheart on like on everything. Like he's constantly in Lionheart and he's always outfoxing me, right? Like he's always leveraging this dumb bullshit. He's sitting here with this dumb bullshit. Like Steve is always doing some dumb stance bullshit, and it's very annoying because Steve is a guard break, which should be removed. Please remove Steve's guard break. Just make it a non-homing. It doesn't have to be homing, because Steve can sit in this stance and wait to realign, right? If he does this into like a plus frame, like a +5 or +6 high, that's not homing, because he already has a 1 option that's homing. Steve should just get like +6 or even like up to 7. Like he should not be doing guard breaks. Fuck guard breaks on Steve. He should not have it. In my opinion, 5 Fox needs to be taken away from him. This just goes against Steve. I hate this move. Steve does not need this shit. Lionheart 1 needs to be unsafe or lose its wall splat property, or both. It cannot be a heat engaging, safe, homing, wall splatting mid. It's fucking stupid. I think that it should be unsafe and it shouldn't splat. Both of them, because it's so good. It's just such a good move because it goes in the flicker. Steve can sit here and just leverage a bunch of dumbass bullshit. So Lionheart 1 should get hit with a pretty heavy nerf. But other than that, I think Steve's fine. Maybe even like up to, Steve should not have a fucking Samsara. Like a high crushing launching mid. Like, cause he can do this. Steve can do this from this. Like, that's what it's for. But like, They just gave it to him so he can launch rage arts. Right? Like, Steve should not have this in neutral. This is another character that's just like, doesn't seem like super duper strong, but he's just fucking annoying. Off the top of my head, while running 1+2 is cancer. This is a cancerous slow. This is horseshit. It needs to be launched. And you can't parry it, right? Because he's got a fucking knife. It's just so ridiculous. You just have to eat it. You just have to eat it. And then it drops into stance. Right, so he gets to do all this dumb shit off of this bullshit low. One thing I hate about Victor is why is Lie 2 -9? Why is this not unsafe? I know he's for easy dumbasses, but why is that safe on block? Right, and let's talk about his fucking Oki situation. Like, he has the most brain dead easy mode fucking Oki I think I've ever seen in the game. Right, and if you don't, if you just get up to block that, now you eat this, or you eat this dumb shit. It's just awful. It is just awful. I don't know how you really fix that other than not allowing for forward 4, 2, 3+4 to not drop into Lie or whatever the fuck it's called. Because this situation is just so unfun to deal with. So for Xiaoyu, I don't really know the matchup. I just feel she gets too much damage at the wall with her leg slam. This spike combo right here. Right, like this is super frustrating. I know she has the other one where she like slams her legs down. I'm not exactly sure how to do it, but she gets so much like spike damage, which in like good ass, like I'm pretty sure this isn't like guaranteed. It's if they try to stand up or they just stay on the floor. Up back 4 is guaranteed, but will hit. But it's just, why does she have this shit? And Hypnotist 3, I don't know why this is -13. I feel like this should be at least -14. Like everyone, somewhat good amount of characters can launch this, not just Kaz, or even like fully launch. It just confuses me why this is -13. Also, Xiaoyu AOP. Just constantly going under shit is, I mean, like you look at it, it does, but it's very frustrating the kind of stuff that it does go under. I've had her duck my hidden electric as Heihachi. Yoshi, another one I'm not too familiar with. I just hate Flash. Flash has got to be one of the most annoying moves in the game. I know it's like a sheer skill issue thing. There's time where I've done heat engagements with other characters and I run up, I'm doing the +9 run. I just stand there, he flashes, and I get hit for me not hitting him. It genuinely makes no fucking sense. Also, safe down forward 2, just really fucking annoying. But I'm gonna need help with this one. And I'm not even gonna pick fucking Zafina because I honestly have no idea. She's bottom 3 pick rate. Who actually plays Zafina? So who cares if she gets nerfed or not? But yeah, that is my video on who I think should be nerfed and potentially sort of buffed. I know this was probably a really long video. I've been sitting there for so long recording it. I really hope this does get some traction and that people are commenting, because I would love to know like what other people think. Obviously, I'm like not sitting here being like I know everything. I don't know a lot of stuff, and I'm very open about not knowing. I love to learn. It's my favorite thing. If it seemed like I attacked your favorite character, it wasn't to attack them. It was just what I think, from my like subjective opinion, is too strong. And if I'm wrong, just let me know. Like I'll gladly have a conversation about it. But if you're a dick, I'm gonna be a dick. Remember, at the end of the day, this is just Tekken. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to check out my other videos popping up. I have some new shit, Bryan and Kazuya. And if you want, you can follow my Twitch in the link in my description. I do stream my Tekken stuff, and my Discord. We do be playing Tekken in there and doing Tekken talks. So everything down in the description below if you want to check me out. A little shameless plug. But yeah, man, I'm out of here.